It is done. Legacy of Kain is experiencing a remake. Soul Reaver 1 and 2 to be exact. To the excitement of the 3 people that actually care, one of them being me. Normally, in this day and age, I would severely curb my enthusiasm if it were not for the fact that the studio behind it is the same that made the remake of Tomb Raider. In the worst of cases, we might have Crystal Dynamics trying to tank the success of the game with a disclaimer like they did before. The developers had nothing to do with that. You can tell that they kept it authentic, and Crystal Dynamics couldn't have that, and it almost worked. Now, enough behind the current politics. Onto the actual game. The lighting sucks. It's a problem with Tomb Raider 2. It was so bad at times that you had to change between the old school and new graphics to actually see what happened in the levels. And a lot of it screamed, Nintendo, hire this man. High quality assets put in a new engine without thinking about how they would look. A lot of good looking games actually look awful if you don't have the proper lighting, and it ruins the mood. Now the question is, will there actually be cut content brought back into the game? Realistically, only the cut weapons could make a comeback, more so the elemental Reavers. The rest can't really happen because that would require making a new game. Raziel was supposed to make it to the top of a cathedral and play a brown note that kills all vampires. It's part of the content that partially made it through the game. You can see Kain's retreat and the smokestack in the background. It was the latter that helped vampires walk during the day, a factory that constantly belches out smoke to blot out the sun. There was a lot going on in the background of that game, but I doubt it would be reintegrated. It seems like a graphical overhaul and not a complete reboot of the series. It just seems like this entry will help test the waters for the future. Or maybe just provide a way for players in general to play this on modern hardware. Balls was hot. Now, as much as I like these games, the series is a little bit weird. Soul Reaver is a bit jank but highly playable. Outside of maybe bringing back a lot of cut content, I don't fathom there's too much work. But how about Blood Omen 1? Diablo-like without a legal PC version and a PS1 version with horrendous loading times. It's a completely different type of game, and Blood Omen 2, while being somewhat well received, had more design problems than the others. The series might have a Tomb Raider problem where as the series goes along, gameplay wise things get a bit sour. Nothing as bad as the former series, but the reviews go from 8 out of 10 to 6 or 7 out of 10. Already with Soul Reaver 2, I remember getting a game that forgone a lot of the interesting quirks of 1 because of story reasons and being more focused on the narrative. I really don't expect this to revive the franchise, but it's a nice thing to have, and surely I will be less frustrated than with Tomb Raider 3 and its fucking jungle.